Eating is one of the most satisfying experiences that we can have every day, especially if we get to eat our favorite meals. And the most exciting thing about food is that there are so many different dishes around the world that we can always go and look for a new thing to try. But then there are some other foods that we're so used to that we take for granted sometimes. And the funny thing about that is that we've been eating a lot of foods the wrong way. In today's video, we're looking at 20 foods that you've been eating wrong. That's right, you might think you know a lot about food, but today you're gonna realize that eating certain things could be so much easier. Stay tuned all the way to number 1 because I'm sure you'll find quite a few items that you've been eating wrong. But today you can learn how to do it right. Number 20. Leftover pizza. It doesn't matter how much we love pizza, sometimes we can't finish a whole pizza in one go, and that's totally fine. That's why we have leftover pizza. However, pizza that's been sitting in your fridge for a while might not be as tasty as it was when you first got it. But reheating it on a stove with a skillet or a pan can make it crispy again while melting all the good stuff on top. A microwave might sound like a faster choice, but it'll probably make your pizza soggy and less appealing. Number 19. Ice cream. Everyone knows that the freezer is the place where the ice cream goes, but don't you feel like ice cream can get a bit too hard to scoop sometimes? I know it's supposed to be frozen, but too frozen makes it hard to get a scoop out of it and makes it a little less enjoyable. However, if you put your ice cream container inside a freezer bag, you'll see that your ice cream wouldn't be so hard to scoop anymore. Number 18. Mushrooms. I get it, not everybody likes to eat mushrooms, but those who do might be having a hard time slicing them the right way. It's easier when you do buy them in a can, but everyone loves fresh products, right? If you're having a hard time cutting your mushrooms, try using an egg slicer. Egg slicers have obviously been designed to slice hard-boiled eggs, but they work just the same with those fresh mushrooms that you get from the market. You can also try this with strawberries and other small fruits and veggies that are hard to cut with a regular knife. Number 17. Watermelon. Who said watermelon's supposed to be cut in triangles? I know it's easy to cut, but it's quite messy to eat sometimes. To make things easier, just cut your watermelon into long slices. You'll be able to eat the slices you want without getting your face all sticky and messy with the watermelon triangles. If you would like to try something a bit more stylish, you can cut your watermelon in half and use an ice cream scoop to get out the flesh into small, nice-looking portions. Number 16. Ginger. Ginger is popular for its medicinal properties, but also because it adds a lot of great flavor to many dishes. But cutting the ginger can be difficult when you don't know how to properly remove the skin. The easiest way to do it is by using a teaspoon. You'll be able to remove the skin without wasting your ginger, and the best part about it is that you can use the skin to make some tea when you're done. In that way, nothing goes to waste. Number 15. Apples. There's nothing complicated about eating an apple. But the one thing that most of us don't like is the fact that they turn brown way too quickly. If you want to take a bite from your apple and save the best for later, what you can do is slice it up, take the part you want, and then put it back together like a puzzle. Then use a rubber band to hold it together and you won't have to worry about it going brown. It'll stay fresh for a little longer. Number 14. Nice looking ice. Have you noticed how ice always looks cloudy? Well, I'm sure that's the case with your ice unless you're aware of this hack. Just boil the water prior to putting it in ice cube containers. The boiling process will remove a lot of the stuff that makes the ice cloudy. Granted, the taste will probably stay the same, but you can now impress your guests when you serve them a drink with fancy ice. Number 13. Tea. There are different types of tea, but not all of them should be brewed the same way. Yellow, white, and green tea should be brewed for about 1 to 2 minutes, while black teas take between 2 to 3. And if you go for herbal, you can brew it for a longer period of time and do it for about 3 to 5 or even 6 minutes. Otherwise, you might get a tea that is either too strong or too light. The right temperature and the right brewing time can make a significant difference. Number 12. The perfect sandwich. If you make a ham sandwich or any other sandwich that has meat or cheese on it, then you probably want to make sure to cover all the bread with the filling. But sometimes this is hard due to the shape of the meats that you get. To make sure your meat doesn't overlap and you get the corners of the bread covered, you can cut and place the meat accordingly so you get full coverage over your bread slices. Number 11. Leftover candy. Most people love candy, but everyone knows that a bit too much candy can be bad for our health, especially for our teeth. And sometimes eating too much of the same candy can become pretty boring. That's why there's a lot of leftover candy in many homes around the world. But that candy doesn't have to go to waste. You can take that old candy and crush it to mix it in with your hot chocolate. And just like that, you've got some extra flavor to your drink. Just don't get too used to it because this is overly sweet, and like I said, sweets can be bad in excess. But a treat like this one wouldn't be bad every once in a while. Number 10. Cutting a cake. The point of getting a whole cake is to be able to share it with others. Depending on your knife, the slices will look nicely cut, or they're gonna look messy. To avoid embarrassment, you can try dental floss instead. Yes, that's right, the dental floss can help you cut straight and smooth lines. I'd just advise you to stay away from flavored floss, though. No one wants an unexpected peppermint taste on their piece of chocolate cake. Number 9. Carrots. I know it's easy to eat a lot of vegetables when they're raw, but that doesn't make them any healthier or tastier. When it comes to carrots, it's best to cook them in order to boost their levels of carotenoids, which have a lot of healthy properties that can improve our lifestyles. So try to cook them next time. It'll be best for your health, and if you don't like veggies, well, just do your best. They're really so good for you on so many levels. Number 8. Crunchy veggies. Speaking of veggies, you might have noticed the stalked vegetables such as celery and asparagus tend to get a bit soggy after a while. To avoid that, try trimming them a bit and putting them inside a vase with about 1 or 2 inches of water. This will help the veggies stay fresh and crisp for a little longer. Number 7. Ripe bananas. Sometimes we feel helpless when we notice that the way to make the perfect banana bread requires we use ripe bananas when we only have unripe ones. But that can be helped by putting them on a pan inside an oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Just leave them there for about 5 minutes and you'll notice how they get darker, softer, and sweeter. With this trick, you'll be able to make your perfect banana bread or any other recipe that requires ripe bananas whenever you feel like it. Number 6. Ripe avocados. It's quite disappointing to get home and find out that all of the avocados you got at the supermarket aren't ripe yet. Or even worse, you get home and you realize that some of the avocados you got are way past their ripeness, and they're just not good anymore. To avoid these issues, you can simply remove the little stem at the bottom and look under it. You'll be able to tell if the avocado is ready to be eaten or not. In that way, you won't have to unnecessarily cut it in half. Number 5. Eating a hamburger. When a hamburger is too big, it might be hard to keep it all together. Some tomato slices will fall off or the dressing's gonna start dripping and make everything a mess. To avoid this kind of problem, try eating your hamburger upside down. This will hold things together and allow you to have more control over it so your food doesn't fall apart on you. Number 4. Cherries. Cherries are delicious, but sometimes the pit gets in the way, so it'd be best if we could just get rid of the pit before we eat the fruit, am I right? Well, the simple way to do this is by using a bottle and a chopstick. Place a cherry on top of the narrow opening of the bottle and use the chopstick to push the pit out of it. The pit should fall inside the bottle while the cherry will stay intact on top, so you can just pick it up and enjoy eating it. Number 3. Pasta. Some pasta might give you trouble after you boil it because it's going to stick together and ruin the look of it. That can easily happen with lasagna and other types of pasta that you'd like to keep from sticking. To solve this problem, all you have to do is add some olive oil right after you drain the pasta. This will keep it nicely separated as you continue cooking it. Now it's time for the day's best pick. In the picture I chose for the day, there's someone opening a hard-boiled egg without any trouble. It looks so easy compared to the way that we do it. Let's find out an easy way to peel a hard-boiled egg with number 2. Hard-boiled eggs. The easiest way to peel a hard-boiled egg is by filling up a glass with cold water and putting the egg in there. Cover the glass with your hand, shake it strongly, and then it'll be easy to release from its shell. You won't have to worry about ruining breakfast anymore, as your hard-boiled eggs will look great. Before we move on, do me a favor. My analytics show that only about 15% of you watching are actually subscribed. Come on guys, what's up with that? Can you guys please hit the subscribe button? You guys watch my videos every day anyway, so you might as well subscribe and keep up to date with every video we put out. Number 1. Perfectly round eggs. If you want perfectly round eggs, just slice some onion rings, press them down in the hot pan with some oil on it, and break the egg right in the middle of the onion ring. The onion will keep the egg from spreading all over the pan, and as a result, you're gonna have one nice looking dish. How cool is that? And those are all the foods that I have for you today, folks. I hope you learned something new. Are there any other food hacks that you know? let us know down in the comment section down below. With all that said and done, that's our video for today, folks, and I will see you all next time. Later, everybody.